What's up? Happy Sunday. I know. Ratchet. Okay, I can't call myself ratchet. They told me I cannot call myself ratchet. Tardy. That's what I am. Tardy. What's up, therapist? Hey, Allison. What's up, Barbara? How did it go last night, sweetheart? Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Marilda. I said, well, wait a minute. How far I'm gonna have to go down here before I see Marilda? Hey, y'all. Oh, good. I'm glad it went great for you. Awesome. Woo, woo. Yes. I was like, I'm in my zone. I'm feeling it. So by another round, they try to shut us down, but we still in this. That's my song for the day. That's my song. That's my song that I'm doing. I don't know the lyrics. Glad Jason not in here just yet, so he can't be checking me about my lyrics. Y'all know I don't know the words to nothing, so I can never type all the stuff out in the thing. Thank you, therapist. I look like a little plum. I kid you not. I got on purple pants, so I'm looking like a grape. But hey, it is what it is. I was like, I'm putting on all this purple. All this purple. Did y'all see the little calendar that I tried to put on our site? So did y'all anybody look at the calendar? I'm just curious. Y'all know I'm trying. I'm so trying to make everything so much more coordinated in some ways. Y'all know I'm learning as we go. And I said, well, let me put out this calendar that's probably going to seem like it's going to be halfway fake because y'all know how I do it. I'll change this stuff up in a minute. I tell y'all we doing one thing and we'll be doing something totally different. But, that's the one good thing. If you live life on the fly, you'll be okay. Right? But at least I gave us something to pretend. To pretend like we following. To act like we organized over here and take it to trial. Let's see here. Yeah, y'all know, it's so funny, guys, because I was looking and I don't know how many of y'all been following the Charlie Kirk thing. And I knew that they was bringing him back here to Arizona, right? Never. I mean, I guess I should have knew, but I guess I didn't know. Like, I didn't really follow. That his funeral was gonna be here at the stadium. Yeah, and I was like, if I wasn't so scary, y'all, I would go. But I'm too scary. I'm way too scary. I'm too scared. I was like, I'm too scared because it's too many people out here got issues, and if I get in here and there's all these people, it's gonna make me nervous. I'm gonna feel claustrophobic. I'm gonna start sweating. I'm gonna have anxiety, and it's gonna be a problem. I'm scary and I'm scared. I'm both. I'm both. Yeah, I'm both. That's why I don't own a firearm. Because I am the scary person that will be out there and you say boo to me and I'll be like, pew, 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 pew. Like I would know. And they tell you don't pull it out unless you're going to use it. No, I'm saying like I'm scary. Like I'm like, I guess when I'm thinking about scary, I'm thinking like anything scare me. Like I'm real scary. Like I maybe I'm scared. Maybe scared is the appropriate word. Get me together, then. Because I'd be like, I'm real scary. I'm real scared. I be scaring y'all when I'm late, Marilda. Right. Get me together. Put my words together. Words matter. You are right. Well, I can be real scary at different points in times if you get on my nerves. So I guess I can be a little bit of both, but I'm definitely scared. Cause I thought about it this morning when I seen it, and they was like, well, we increase in security, for Charlie Kirk's thing. And I'm like, okay, the stadium hold about 60,000, right? And then they said it's gonna be like over 100,000 people outside. I'm like, oh, that's way too many people for me. I ain't even, I'm not even gonna try it. Yeah, I can be scary and I'm scared. Yeah, I'm both of them because I could definitely move. I just thought that it was probably gonna be some stuff. Oh, people were getting arrested, and they were saying that they were not going to arrest people if they were protesting. Because I seen that, right? So I was like, okay, well, they're not going to be arresting these people that's going to be out here protesting, but it's going to be some people that's out there for him, right? Because everybody is coming to this event for him. That's going to take real offense to people that's protesting. I'm like, that sound like that's going to be a mess. I'm cool. I was like, it'd be some nice coverage, they like come out for this once in a lifetime event, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, yeah, no. So that's kind of how that went. So I thought about it because I thought that it may be something good for us to, experience for me. But then I was like, in the traffic, oh gosh, it is probably a hot mess because they don't have a clue what to do over there as far as traffic. It's a mess. I don't even know why anybody even goes to any games. It's like they know a game is coming. They know a concert is coming. And do you think that they have people out there directing traffic, making sure traffic flow correctly? Absolutely not. Why would that be even reasonable? Why would we even do something like that? Okay, y'all tired of hearing me being? I'm just being. Look, I'm just itching. But those are just my thoughts, right? That's in my opinion. Look, just my thoughts. Take it or leave it. I'm going to gripe about everything that everybody wants to say but won't say it. So yeah, that's me. What's up, SD? Yeah, so they did that. They did that today, and I bet you they probably still over there stuck in traffic. I don't even know if it ended. I didn't really watch it on. Oh yeah, it's still on. I think. Yeah, yeah, that's too much for me. That's too much excitement for me. Like I mean, yeah, I stopped going to like clubs and bars and certain places. Um, when I got to the point where when I would go into a club and the first thing I was doing was trying to look for the exit, I was like, oh yeah, this ain't my life no more. Because I can't even go in there and start off like boom, jam, and I can't even get my little jiggy, get my stuff on coming through the door because when I'm coming through the door, I'm looking for the exits. Like, okay, so if something go down up in here, which way do I get out? You say in Tempe, and we was heard the Cardinals were playing, so we went and fell asleep. It was in the car, misbehaving. Hey, Marty. Hey. Okay. All righty. Yeah. So once I figured that out, I was done with that type of getting her down. Let me see something here. Terrible. Okay. So where we left off, they had detective, I believe, on the stand. I think this was a detective. He was on the stand. He had just got finished with direct examination, and now we are on cross. So that's where we're starting off with that one. Yeah, this is going to be interesting, and I hope Jason, that's going to be our courtroom reporter, hopefully tomorrow, we'll be able to get in the courtroom. Maybe I was like, oh my gosh, we got to get some business cards or something, because I was like, he could be down there like handing out the cards and stuff, talk about if you want to do an interview or come watch us at Take It to Trial, because this is not like a real big case. Morel, the Sunday is his family day, so he be with the kids on Sundays. Every now and again, he'll let me interrupt his Sunday fun day. Oh, a shirt with a QR code on it. Yeah, something. Because I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, I need him to be like, this is not really like where it's probably 20 people covering it, right? Or like on YouTube, because there's not a lot of creators that are like covering, at least from what I can see. I'm like, oh my gosh, if Jason was down there, we probably can get an interview with Tony's wife. He might can see the wife and she may want to do an interview or talk to us or something like that. But I would like for him to give out a business card so he don't have to be on Front Street, kind of like, hey, look, I'm not the reporter, but you can come to this channel. Like, here. No, I just want him to be like, here, you can reach out to Take It to Trial. She would be interested to do an interview or something like that, instead of him trying to write down numbers and write down stuff. But yes. So I got to be more prepared, but we learning as we go. So I was thinking about that last night. Yes, they did have a good moment. And I'm so glad that that's the good thing about what we have here going on, is that it is an open forum. We can respect each other's opinions. We can, talk about it. We can debate. We can do a lot of things, right? We get a lot of people's point of views. Like I said, like even, y'all know how our Zach is in the chat. But for him to get up here and he provided, nuggets that we never even had. Hey, Maddie. Oh, he's so handsome. For him to be able to provide that was, awesome to what we were doing yesterday. And it's so much fun. So, guys, I really, really appreciate when you guys come up here and we talk about things. And y'all probably will see a lot of times I will play devil's advocate, because I would like to push back on you guys. And not to say that they're not my real opinions, or that I'm solid and firm in what I'm saying. I want y'all to make sure y'all understand that. But I want to give everybody a different perspective of thinking outside of the box of what other people can be thinking. In some situations, like our last couple trials, like I can give you a little pushback to make you think outside of the box, but then maybe I can't give you none. But if I can provide some outside thinking, or how somebody else may think besides somebody, then it gives you a thought process. Like with Zach, I would have never even thought about that. So that was very nice. Like, and I wouldn't have, I may have not even caught it in the chat. So, even when you guys are in the chat and, I know how y'all can be like typing and trying to catch the thought that somebody typed in the chat. That's why it's always good. Like whenever we do open up the floor and we have time and it's worth a discussion, absolutely take advantage of the opportunity. Hey, Baka. So yeah, I think that it was awesome. I really appreciate it. They always are so fun to do, guys. You say you ain't letting him go. I know, right? And it's so crazy because even if they found him, like he really, really wouldn't be liable for anything. And I think that's why the only thing that he would be liable for is he would get charges in regards to doing the robbery. That's what he would be guilty of. Because there's always the thing where Mr. Tony, he could be considered as overreacting. So I don't know if they have felony redrum. I think they tried to do felony redrum. Okay, so you still convinced that he was shooting too? I don't know. And see, that's the thing. I mean, I don't know. And I'm mad that they keep mentioning about them 10 bullets or whatever, 10 shots. You say you undecided? Yeah, well, I think that, as we get some more evidence in, we'll be able to understand, because remember, they tried to get this on a straight up redrum and it didn't make it. And I be thinking that the grand jury, like, they be indicting people just to be indicting them sometimes in my mind. So if they threw it back at them and was like, no, 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 there's that. Yeah, I think that it's gonna be hard to argue the law part, depending on how the instructions are given to the jury. Because if the jury going in there with my mindset in regards to there's a great possibility that this guy was shooting back and that Tony was defending himself, and unfortunately the young lady was caught in the crossfire, although she was not an immediate threat to him, he did have some type of immediate threat. Yeah, it's just us debating because I love hearing what you guys have to say. Oh boy. Oh gosh. Oh, y'all done brought him in. Oh, Jason. Oh boy. He takes some time out of his Sunday to be with that old sweet pea. He here. You were just talking about you. Ooh, wee. Look. Don't rewind it. He was like, who said his name 3 times? That doggone SD. Nobody but SD did that 3 times. Okay, Vodka. Aw. I know. You said it 3 times. She surely did. I tell you, they made him appear. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay. You trying to see if it worked, Maddie? Maddie said, K Upton, K Upton, K Upton. Where you at? Oh boy. Yeah, that's too funny. Right? Mm. I know. Well, hey, he said, SD, your wish is his command. Cause she said, where is Jason? Where is Jason? Where is Jason? I know Zach said he probably stopped by for a minute. Yeah, but awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take us. If y'all ready, let me see the ones, the Sweet Pea gang. We'll go ahead and then get into the courtroom. That way we can get some of this testimony in today. Ooh. Oh, you gotta say it 3 times, Vanessa. Okay. Therapist got it in there. Okay, misbehaving. Okay, I'm seeing these ones and these Sweet Pea games. Come on up in this chat room so we can get in here. Let me see. Mm. You say Jules. Aw, my boo broke her wrist. That's why she been incognito. Hopefully soon she'll be able to get back online. She can't type. Okay, let's see here.
And then in 2022, is that when you went to the Harris County DA's office?
Yes, sir. That is when I joined the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
Okay, to be clear, that's the same Harris County District Attorney's Office that Mr. Gutani and Mr. Jordan worked for, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
All right. So let's start with, well, I guess let me ask this. You also receive, they don't just throw you into vehicular crimes, right? They give you some training. Is that fair? Who? The law enforcement. Like when you went to at HPD, they didn't just say you're now assigned to vehicular crimes. They had to teach you how to do some of these investigations, right?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
And you receive periodic training after that, right?
Yes, sir.
You also receive training when you're at the Harris County DA's office.
Yes, sir.
And would it be, technology is always changing, right?
Yes, sir. It is.
So there's always a need to get updated training, right?
Yes, sir.
And you've been doing that.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, how many years, ballpark, have you been doing crimes or investigating crimes regarding accident scenes?
Since 2012.
Okay. So, let's talk about that then, about an accident investigation and a reconstruction. In order to do a proper and thorough reconstruction, I'd like for you to list for us what all you need to review. Okay, so let's start with this. Would you need to review all offense reports created by police departments regarding the incident?
Yes, sir.
Would you need to review all crime scene unit reports regarding the incident?
Yes, sir.
I believe you stated yesterday witnesses are important. So you want to see all the witnesses there.
Yes, sir.
Now, when we're talking about witnesses, that's a little unique because witness testimony can vary, correct?
Yes, sir. That is true.
And in fact, witness testimony can vary in situations where someone's not lying, but they can be mistaken, right?
Yes, sir.
In fact, that happens all the time, doesn't it?
Yes, sir.
And you're trained in doing your investigation, you've got to look at the whole picture, correct?
Yes, sir.
And every witness statement that is made is something that needs to be given some consideration to at least evaluate what's accurate and what's not. Fair?
That's typically what I do. Yes, sir.
All right. And then at HP, you've got, what's that laser scanner called?
The Leica RTC.
Okay, that's advanced technology, but in one form or another, it's been around for a while, hasn't it?
Yes, sir.
And you had that at HPD when you were there in 2022.
Yes.
And you've had it, the Harris County District Attorney's Office has that same equipment, correct?
No, sir. We do not own a Leica scanner.
Okay, so when you use a Leica scanner in your duties with the Harris County DA's office, you're borrowing it from another agency?
Yes, sir. I was.
Okay. The Leica scanner is really good for measurements, right?
Yes, sir. It is.
But there's still some human input that comes into play, correct?
It is. Yes, sir.
For example, the reference points are not chosen by the scanner, but by the investigator. Fair?
Yes, sir.
So we talked, is there anything that I did not cover? Well, I guess let me ask this, photographs. You want to see scene photographs, correct?
Yes, sir.
If there's a scene video, you want to review that?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything, and I promise it's a trick question, I want to make sure there's nothing I missed. Is there anything else that in your ideal situation, and I get every situation is not ideal, okay, but in your ideal situation to do a reconstruction, is there anything else that I've not mentioned that you would really like to see?
I would like to see all the photos, basically all the evidence that anybody's captured. I would like to see when I'm doing a reconstruction because it takes a totality to put something back together.
All right, so, and in vehicle cases, and I'll visit with you in more detail about this in a minute, but are you familiar with the term electronic data recording?
Yes, sir. That would be EDR. Yes, sir.
And is that something that is sometimes referred to as a black box?
Yes, sir. That is.
And sometimes you can get information from electronic data recorders, sometimes you can't, right?
Yes, sir.
But if that's information that's available, it's certainly something that you want to review when doing your reconstruction. Fair?
Yes, sir.
So in this case, when were you asked to get involved?
I would say probably about August of 2025.
All right, so last month.
Yes, sir.
What were you given to review in this case?
Excuse me. I was given the entire case file to just review.
All right, so the case file for what you reviewed, did that include the report regarding the shooting?
I mean, just the original ORI from HPD.
Yeah, when we say OR, you and me, we both know what that means, but so the jury understands, does OR mean offense report?
Yes, sir. The original offense report.
And police, as part of their duties, are required to make offense reports of what they're investigating, correct?
Yes, sir. They are.
All right, so if the jury hears OR, just know that means police report, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, so in this case, you had, because of the unique situation, there were two offense reports, right?
Yes, sir.
There was the report for the shooting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then there was the report for the robbery.
Yes, sir.
And you reviewed both of those.
Yes, sir.
Now, there were also photographs that were taken by crime scene unit investigators, correct?
Yes, sir.
You reviewed all of those.
Yes, sir.
There was a crime scene video that was taken by a crime scene unit, correct?
Yes, sir.
You reviewed that.
Yes, sir.
All right. You had a testimony from Armando Alvarez. Did you review that?
I think so. Yes, sir.
Okay. And in that testimony and in your review of it, you're familiar with him stating at one point they were shooting at each other, correct?
I don't recall that.
Would you quibble with me about that being accurate? I can show it to you if you would.
Could you show it to me, please?
Sure. And while she's fine, Hannah, can you sign that? Grand jury. All right, while she's finding that, did you review any testimony from Wendy Alvarez?
I don't recall.
You don't know if you did or not?
Yes, sir. I don't remember.
Okay. Did you review the statements from Wendy Alvarez or Armando Alvarez that were listed in the offense report?
I just don't remember because I review cases literally every day for all the crash fatalities. So I read a lot.
But we're in trial on this case.
I understand. Yes, sir.
Did you not review anything before you came up to the stand?
I'm just trying to remember what I can, sir.
I understand, but I mean, this is my only time to be able to ask you questions on this, okay? So you don't remember if you based any of your opinions upon, in part, the statements made by the Alvarez family?
I based my opinions on the photos that I took and the scene measurements that I took, sir.
So you did not, this is sounding like I'm trying to trick you, but I'm not. I'm trying to understand. You did not take into account the statements that were made by the witnesses at the scene?
I based my evidence on the videos and the photos that I took and the measurements that I took.
So not,
and reading the original report.
okay. There were witness statements in the report, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did that go into your calculations? Did that go into the opinions that you made on this case?
The only calculations that I made were from my Leica scan measurements where I clicked the point and then clicked another point, sir.
Judge, may I take this witness on board hire?
No, Judge, I'm not offering anything. You can't take the witness on board.
I'm a little confused.
Regarding what he is specifically an expert in, crime scene reconstruction versus shooting incident reconstruction.
Judge,
He's asking, if I may, the attorney's asking him about who was shooting at the scene. Mr. Bledsoe is a crime scene reconstructionist. That's what his testimony was yesterday, and that was the scope of his testimony yesterday.
Go ahead and so please.
No, with all due respect, Judge, this is not federal court. This is state court. We get to have open
You
cross.
could ask him whatever question, you just keep it within the scope of his expertise.
Well, Judge, may we approach?
Wow. He said, look, this ain't federal court, this state court. We had to have open cross. What is you talking about, Judge? Y'all better get this together. My guy over here looking all sad. Like a sad puppy. He can't even hold his head up, y'all. That is so messed up. Read the TC. Oh, sorry. I got y'all. I got it muted. Wait a minute. I got to rewind. Y'all.
Does that refresh your memory as to whether or not Mr. Alvarez had previously testified they were shooting at each other?
Can I say kind of what I just read, actually?
May I approach the witness? All right, you said earlier that you thought you reviewed testimony from Armando Alvarez as part of your review of the case.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm showing you a prior testimony of Mr. Alvarez, okay? And if you'll look at lines 8 and 9 there, you can read as much as you want, but I want you to focus on lines 8 and 9. Don't read it aloud, just read it to yourself. You tell me when you're finished.
I'm finished.
Okay, does that refresh your memory as to whether or not Mr. Alvarez had previously testified they were shooting at each other?
Can I say kind of what I just read, actually?
You're welcome to say it, yes.
Because right now I'm just reading where it says, as I slow down, I heard the first gunshots. They were shooting at each other.
There you go. Does that say that? So Did I miss something that it said they were shooting at each other?
Oh, it just says he heard it. He didn't see it visually with his eyes.
Well, I don't want to play these games here. I mean,
Okay.
does it say they were shooting?
They were shooting at each other.
Shooting at each other. Did I misread that?
No, not at all.
Okay. Is that so hard to just agree with?
No, sir.
All right. So you reviewed the police report, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you stated when Mr. Katani was asking you questions that witness information is something that you have to take into account, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
And did you review the whole report?
The offense report from HP, I recall all of that. Yes, sir.
Okay. And in that report, there were statements from the Alvarez, and when I say that, I mean Wendy and Armando Alvarez, correct?
Yes, sir.
There was a statement from my client's wife, correct?
Yes, sir.
There was a statement from my client, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you reviewed all of those, right?
I have reviewed them before. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
And did you take those into account when you were making the opinions that you were making on your case?
The only opinions I made, sir, was from the evidence that I took and based off the visual videos that you can see.
Okay, so you did not take into account, I just wanted to understand if you took the witness testimony into account, yes or no?
I always listen to and take it into account. And then as an investigator, you go through and you check and balance basically by reviewing video and putting everything together.
Okay. So you are in the vehicular crimes unit at the DA's office, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
And that's a unit that probably has a little bit of overlap in this case because there are some vehicles involved. But when there are vehicle or crime scenes involving vehicles, y'all have a call-out schedule, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And that is where you will have sometimes a prosecutor or an investigator from the Harris County District Attorney's Office that will go out to the scene of the alleged crime, right?
Yes, sir.
And you go there while the police are there, correct?
Yes, sir.
And the reason you do that immediately is because looking at the crime scene quickly after it happened is important, correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
And you're going to get more, there's only so much information you can reconstruct. It's better to be on the scene. That's why they send you out there, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, you were talking about one of the things that you do is read the roadway. You remember telling Mr. Katami that?
Yes, sir.
When we're reading the roadway, that is it fair to say that that's where you're looking for certain clues from evidence on the road itself?
Yes, sir.
Some of those clues can be things like something called a yaw mark, right?
Yes, sir.
Could you tell the jury what that is?
Yaw mark is a critical curve speed mark, basically, which tells true speed. There's a formula we can use that gives actual true speed of that vehicle because it's a tire that is rotating while side slipping.
Okay, and then there's other things you can do to calculate vehicle pitch.
Yes, sir, there is.
Okay, would you tell the jury what pitch means for a vehicle?
As far as like it basically turning pitch, you mean? Like a rotation?
The kind of pitch that you look at, yes, sir.
Well, we have a vehicle that's turning and has a pitch angle basically. So basically a deviation off of its normal axis, essentially.
And those are things that you routinely look for when doing investigations involving vehicles, correct?
Yes, sir.
Why?
It's part of our scene and evidence for vehicular crimes. It can tell you different things about those vehicles and what was happening.
And the road itself, in addition to having marks, there could be other evidence you can see from the concrete on the road sometimes, correct?
Yes, sir.
For example, something simple, if there's a shooting, you can see, in some situations, you might be able to see a bullet where a bullet had hit the concrete, right?
I mean, yes, sir.
All right. Now, going back to the EDR, or the black box,
Okay.
that, Mr. Katani had visited with you about that a little bit yesterday. That is kind of a data recorder for a vehicle, right?
Yes, sir. It's attached to the airbag control module.
But it also will, in certain circumstances, collect and retain other information about the vehicle, correct?
Certain parameters of a vehicle, each brand is different with it in the EDR world.
Of course. The types of things, but you will routinely, in vehicle investigations, it's quite common for y'all to download the information from the black box, right?
Yes, sir, it is.
And y'all don't do that just to see if the airbag went off, do you?
No, sir.
You do that because it can give you information in certain cases, and I understand not all cases, but in certain cases like speed, correct?
Yes, sir.
It can sometimes tell you braking.
Yes, sir.
What other information can it give you?
You can get speed, braking, steering input. Sometimes it can give you quantities on the driver's weight versus a person sitting in a passenger's seat. It tells you if the airbag, if the seatbelt was worn. It can tell you mileage that's on the vehicle itself. It can read that data as well. It's just a few things, you guys.
So now those, and I understand that it varies by vehicle. Okay, I'm going to guess, since we're in Houston, Texas, you probably had some familiarity with the Ford F-250.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the Ford EDR will collect that information if there's an accident that's big enough to make the airbags to pull, right?
Or an event-enabled signal sent, basically.
Sure, but let's. I'm kind of starting one place and I'm going to go somewhere else. I mean, we can agree if there's an accident, it's going to collect that information, right?
If it's an accident that triggers an event, a minor accident like a 1 or 2 mile per hour bump you from behind, probably it's not going to actually enable.
Fair. And that actually one of the things that triggers it to collect the information in certain circumstances. Have you ever heard the term delta V?
Yes, sir. The instantaneous change in velocity. Yes, sir.
Okay. And when there is a significant delta V, okay, change in velocity,
Yes, sir.
that in some circumstances can trigger the electronic data recorder to record information, even if there's not a wreck, right?
Yes, sir. And create a non-deployment event is what it's actually called.
Okay. And then if that happens, you may be able to get some of the information like we talked about, right?
Yes, sir.
And you are aware in this case that at one point the brakes were slammed on this car, correct? This vehicle.
Yes, sir.
All right. And you're also aware there was never an attempt made to get any of the data from the Ford black box, correct?
Yes, sir.
That technology completely existed to be able to do that in 2022, right?
Yes, sir. It did.
You were able to do that when you were in HPD.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to publish State's Exhibit number 2. Let's see. Well, hold on. Thank you, Mister. Judge, we got just a minute for a technical thing. I think because of the Zoom, it is,
Mr.
it's on the right. Just takes a second.
Young attorneys.
Judge, may I approach the TV?
Y'all might have seen the TV in there with the VCR. That's how we grew up. You just plug it in.
Give it to the Smithsonian.
All right, I'm going to show you, we're looking at State's Exhibit, and it's 2, 3. Sorry. So for the record, we're looking at State's Exhibit number 3. This is a video that you've certainly seen before, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. Emma, can you play until May I approach the,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
there's something here. All right, stop. All right, now when you look there, is that the robber?
Yes, sir. That is the original robber from the
It
18th.
is, his hand's extended there, correct?
Yes, sir. It is extended.
All right, and I'm going to show you defense exhibit number 9. Do you see this, sir?
Yes, sir. It's just a screenshot of this same frame, pretty much.
Okay. Is it fairly and accurately depict the screenshot that you're seeing right there?
If I can see the time that with the boxes in the way.
Well,
for
just
this-
more or less. It doesn't need to be precise.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Tender defense exhibit number 9 to opposing counsel offering the evidence.
Yeah, no objection, Judge.
With no picture made effective for non-related minutes, there is a public leader.
Okay, and that is, we said, consistent with, that's consistent with someone shooting a gun, right?
That's consistent with somebody extending their arm right now.
You think the robber's just saying hi?
He's sticking his hand up, and if he has a gun in his hand, which I think he did from seeing the other videos.
You're not denying that they were robbed, right? I think we agree on that.
No, I totally agree with that, sir.
And if you go forward to the next one. Yeah, and then we see the same thing over here, right? Did I catch it at the right spot?
Yes, sir. He's sticking his arm up currently.
Okay. Like that first one, correct?
Yes, sir. It is.
Okay, so guys, I'm gonna stop right here. Jason, are you seeing this? Are you guys seeing this? Because I want to know, do it now change back? Yes, Curville. So does this now change? Did y'all just hear this testimony that's coming in? So I'm trying to see, does this change the dynamics of him fearing for his life? Yeah, that's right. Damn it, Jason, pay attention. I'll rewind it. Let me go back. I think it's important, even what he's saying, the guy on the stand. Because, okay.
I'm going to show you, we're looking at State's Exhibit, and it's 2.
So, guys, is this the victim's truck? Let's listen and see, because I don't know if it looks like the victim's truck.
Sorry. So for the record, we're looking at State's Exhibit number 3. This is a video that you've certainly seen before, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. Emma, can you play until, may I approach the,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
there's something here. All right, stop.
He is shooting something, y'all.
You've certainly seen before, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. Emma, can you play until, may I approach the,
Yes, sir, go ahead.
there's something here. All right, stop.
Yes, it's cross, Jason. So my question is, as a juror, and you seeing this, yeah, this is the defense, y'all. We in the defense, cross-examining. He is pointing something, right?
All right, now when you look there, is that the robber?
Yes, sir. That is the original robber from the 18th.
His hand's extended there, correct?
Yes, sir. It is extended.
All right, and I'm going to show you defense exhibit number 9. Do you see this, sir?
Yes, sir. It's just a screenshot of this same frame, pretty much.
Okay. Is it fairly and accurately depict the screenshot that you're seeing right there?
If I can see the time that with the boxes in the
Well,
way.
just more or less. It doesn't need to be precise.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Tender defense exhibit number 9 to opposing counsel offering the evidence.
Yeah, no objection, Judge.
With no picture made effective from now to the minutes, evidence may publish.
Okay, and that is, we said, consistent with, that's consistent with someone shooting a gun, right?
That's consistent with somebody extending their arm right now.
You think the robber's just saying hi?
He's sticking his hand up, and if he has a gun in his hand, which I think he did from seeing the other videos.
You're not denying that they were robbed, right? I think we agree on that.
No.
This is the state witness up here, Jason. Did you hear that? Right, therapist. Do you think he was just waving hi? He was waving bye? Like, you just see a man running with his hand out, like, come on. And he got this witness to admit that, yeah, I believe that he had a gun in his hand. Okay, well, long as everybody hearing it. He was waving bye. I got all your stuff. See you when I see you. All right, now, take note.
Totally agree with that, sir.
And can you go for the next one? Yeah, and then we see the same thing over here, right? Got to catch it at the right spot.
Yes, sir. He's sticking his arm up currently.
Okay. Like that first one, correct?
Yes, sir. It is.
All right, we're seeing right here is the robbery itself, correct?
Yes, sir.
It's apparent to you there's a firearm involved in that, correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
And can you pause? We show you defense exhibit number 8. Same question as last time.
Yes, sir.
Is that, it's not that exact moment, but is that a screenshot that fairly and accurately depicts part of the video that we are watching?
Yes, sir. It is.
I tendered defense exhibit number 8 to opposing counsel and offer the evidence.
Yeah, no objection, Judge.
With no picture made effective number 8 of the minutes, evidence may publish.
that's good. Now go to the shooting. All right, now on defendants, or I'm sorry, state's exhibit number 1, we're looking at, we've seen this a few times. Tommy went over it with you yesterday. As soon as you just get to the part where Tony's coming out. All right, and stop, please. Thank you. All right, so at this point, we went through this a little bit yesterday, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is where Mr. Earls is firing his handgun, correct?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, now, and there's a series, I think 3, does that sound right? 3 shots at that point before he goes into the grass?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, I want to kind of dissect what we're saying this is and what we're saying it isn't. Are you giving any opinion as to whether any of those 3 shots were the one that went into the truck?
No, sir, I'm not giving any opinion into that.
Okay, do you know whether any of those 3 shots are the ones that went to the truck?
I think from this point, we can see 3 flashes basically in the grass of where it's hitting, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so we can rule out those shots as being any that went into the truck, fair?
I think that's fair, yes, sir.
Okay, and then, Anna, can you go forward? And stop. All right, so we've got Mr. Earls over at that point, where it looks like from the angle, you know, we've got the truck at this stage, but he, meaning Mr. Earls, is somewhere in this general area when he is firing at the truck, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, now when you were doing your measurements, you had no way to measure exactly where Mr. Earls would have been standing, fair?
I just can't place his exact spot because of the pillars and how the camera's positioned.
Yeah, and you weren't out there, so I mean, you don't know. I'm not fussing at you for this. I don't think it's possible to know. You don't know. You couldn't state precisely where he was standing when the shot was fired at the truck. Fair?
Not from this camera. From the
Well-
China Garden, you probably could have a better position of seeing where he's standing.
Okay. Do you have any opinion as to exactly where he was standing when the shot was made that went into the truck?
No, sir, I do not have an opinion.
All right. And you also, to really know that, you need to know kind of where the truck is too. Right?
Yes, sir.
And while sometimes, you know, a picture's worth 1,000 words, you've heard that saying, right?
Yes, sir, I
But
have.
a picture can sometimes be slightly misleading, can't it be? In some situations.
Yes, sir.
All right. For example, you can have something that may look like it's going straight because of camera angle, but it may actually not be going completely straight. That happens sometimes, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can have a situation with when you're talking about a vehicle where when it brakes, I guess I'm going to use my hand here. Vehicle going straight, we kind of think of it as going at a 180-degree angle, right?
Yes,
When
sir.
it brakes, it's going to start pitching a little bit, isn't it?
If you slam your brakes, you'd expect that.
Okay, and then it's not unusual in situations where there's a highly chaotic, stressful traffic situation where someone might steer the wheel one way or another, right?
That is possible, yes, sir.
Okay, so those are the kinds of things that can affect the angle of a truck, okay, where on one angle on a camera, it may look like it's completely flat and straight. There may be some slight variances depending upon the driver's reactions. Fair?
That's kind of fair. I'm kind of confused by what you're saying.
I'm confused too. Let me try that again. Okay. Where I'm trying to get at is we cannot make an assumption that at the time that the truck was shot, it was at a level 180-degree angle, right?
I'm gonna object again, 702, Stoko's expertise. When the truck was struck, he's not a shooting reconstruction expert.
Judge, he's a traffic vehicle crimes expert.
So Earl, if you could answer the question, you can.
Okay, we can't, it's not safe to assume that the truck was at an even 180 degrees at the time that it was fired upon, correct?
I don't know exactly at which point and which bullet we're talking about. I mean,
At the point where the truck was shot,
yes, sir.
okay, you get me with there, right?
I don't know exactly which one of these shots it was struck. I have
That's
no
not my
clue.
question. That's not my question. You're thinking I'm making this more complicated than I am, okay? At the point the truck was shot, let's start with that. You understand the truck was shot,
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that.
okay? You're not able to say, because this could be important later. It may not be important with you, but it may be important later. You're not able to say one way or another if the truck was at a perfect 180-degree angle or if it may have been at a slight angle due to brake speed slam, acceleration, or steering, correct?
I am not able to say no, sir.
Good. May I have just 1 second, Judge?
Yes, sir.
Let me ask this very directly. You do not know exactly where Mr. Earls was standing at the point that he shot the gun where the bullet hit into the vehicle.
I don't know the exact spot. I mean, you can look on this video and the China Garden video and try to place him, basically.
You get generally where he is, but you can't, and I'm asking this for purposes of precise measurement, okay? We know that generally he's where he is in that video right there, I get that. But for precise measurement purposes, okay, you can't state he was exactly X number of inches or feet away from any reference point at the time that he fired the bullet that we recall.
From this video, no, but from the other video across the sheet, you get better reference of kind of where he is standing.
You get a better reference, but you can't state with any precision. Like you couldn't measure exactly where he was standing, right?
With the 3D point cloud, I could actually fly over to that spot and place him in that area he's at right now.
If he were there, you can't do that now, can you?
Well, based off of your videos, if you have a person and you have objects you can use for reference, like I did with the tire mark, with the lane line right here, I can say, hey, the lane line is near the tire. I can measure from that spot.
I get that. You don't know where he was standing when he fired the bullet that went into the truck.
I don't know which bullet is exact. No, sir.
Okay, so because of that, you can't state that you can measure exactly where he was standing when the bullet was fired to hit the truck, right?
By using the videos,
This is
all
yes
the
or no.
videos,
Do me a favor, Mr. McLeese, you're speaking over him.
Finish your answer.
by using all the videos, you can put together pretty much as close as you can from the muzzle flashes. You'd match muzzle flashes from where he's standing, and there is objects of reference. That's why I took my 3D scanner and I placed it at
Objection
several.
non-responsive.
The non-responsive part is going to be objected to. Please actually just.
Yes, sir.
Here's what I get that you not want to answer this, okay, but you don't know precise.
Y'all better say her name. That's Fowler, damn it. Thank you so much, Fowler, and welcome, Angela. Now, well, thank you, Fowler. Damn it. Sick and all. We love our Fowler, damn it. So, y'all see how the defense is getting him? He like, look, I know you don't want to answer my question, but you're going to have to answer my question. So that was a good stopping point for us, right? You say you love your name change so much. I love it too. It give me an excuse to say damn it all the time. All right, guys.
Cannot state to this jury precisely where Mr. Earls was standing as we're in here right now. You, okay, investigator Bledsoe,
Yes, sir.
cannot state with any precision where Mr. Earls was standing when he fired the bullet that went into the truck? Yes or no?
No, sir, I don't know.
Thank you. Do you know the measurements that you took here? Do you know if those were given to an investigator with the last name of Rossi?
Yes, sir. We gave all the evidence we gave to you guys was presented to her as well.
That you relied upon these measurements you gave her?
That's what I'm assuming she did. Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, you provided the data that she then used to generate whatever she's going to use in her testimony.
Yes, sir. Excuse me.
And that's fine. Let me show you what's been marked. Can I approach, Judge? Let me show you what's been marked as defendant's exhibit number 10. All right, is that a, that's from the crime scene photos. You remember reviewing that?
Yes, sir. I have seen this photo.
Okay. And it is one of the crime scene photos that was provided to you for your review that you used to help in the totality to make your opinion, right?
Yes,
Thank you. Judge, I'm tendering defense exhibit number 10.
Questions, Judge?
With no objection made, defense 10 will be admitted to evidence in the published, sir.
Thank you. All right, at some point, this Mr. Alvarez's truck, I guess something happened here. The brakes were smashed, or it accelerated, or it turned, but it did something that was enough of a force to make all of the, or a lot of the stuff that was in the bed of his truck fall out, right?
Yes, sir.
Did you take any measurements or anything, or were you told to do any investigation as to what kind of forces the vehicle may have had to lead it to do this, to lead it to expel all of the stuff from the bed?
No, sir, but reviewing the video, it was a hard acceleration that caused it to come out.
Judge, I'll pass the witness.
At this time, the state would offer state's exhibit number 5.
No objection. If you already in.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Do you have any objections to state number 5?
No.
With no objection made, defense 5 will be admitted to evidence in the published, sir.
Judge, at state's exhibit number 5, just for purposes of the record. I apologize. And Judge, may we retrieve the larger TV just briefly?
Is the jury okay?
Was also like.
Investigator Bledsoe, I'm going to play state's exhibit number 5.
Yes, sir.
When we're done, I'm going to ask you how many gunshots we hear, okay?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to start it over here.
Yes, sir.
Officer Bledsoe, you're a certified peace officer in the state of Texas, correct?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
As part of your annual training, do you undergo trainings regarding the uses of firearms?
Yes, sir. We do.
And aren't you certified in certain aspects of firearms?
Yes, sir.
So although you may not be able to opine about things that a firearms examiner can, you know what this gunshots sound like, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can tell what muzzle flash is, right?
Yes, sir.
But you're not a shooting incident reconstructionist, are you?
No, sir. I'm not.
So are you aware of whether or not for shooting incident reconstruction, that diameter, the circumference, and the depth of the entrance of a gunshot projectile is required to determine the angle at which it was fired?
Objection leading.
Are you aware about whether or not you would need to know the angle, the diameter, the width, and the depth of a projectile entrance to be able to make that determination, since you're not a crime scene?
I'm like trying to figure out exactly what did I say, because I be saying so much, Vanessa. I think Carvel seen that because that's what he was like with that evidence. He think that the jury, if they see that, they're gonna see that the guy's arm was stretching out. He wasn't waving by. He wasn't, I mean, really, like he had a weapon in his hand and he was raising his arm up. In regards to the robber, I don't know if he was actually shooting. Sorry, Fowler, damn it. I don't know if he was actually shooting. But I guess you can make a case that he had his arm extended. He did have a weapon. We know he had a weapon. He had a gun in his hand. So does that change the dynamics that now Tony is back in fear of his life? And that would be my biggest issue. Not even if he shot it. You don't have to wait to be shot at to shoot back. But him raising this guy just robbed him, and the guy turns back around, has his arm extended with a weapon in his hand. I'm back in fear for my life. Yeah, Kirby, I definitely believe that he had a gun in his hand. So yeah. But it don't change the dynamics, for some reason it kind of reminds me of I don't know. Yeah, like I don't think we have heard from the ballistics just yet. I haven't heard anything in regards to the bullets, but I'm sure they do have it. No, I didn't forget your whole point from yesterday, Zach, but I don't know if that makes him I don't know. I don't know if I just don't I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, because I think that I think two things can be true. I know. But I don't know. So how do we explain, like, if I don't know, like SD said, where's the ballistics? Can we get to that part? I don't know. Thank you so much, SD. This is a try. I think it gives us very open dialogue, Fala. I think this is the most excitement that we done had in a chat where we not all on the same page. We all got different opinions in regards to it. It's actually yes. It gives everybody a different way of viewing it. Remember, this is how the jury gonna be back there. They gonna be really looking at this. It's that all the way around. That's the catchy part to it. Yeah, it is hard to settle on one side, right? Because most cases we walk into, and before they even open their mouth, we like, you guilty. He said he didn't even graze the groove. Like, if you're gonna be doing all this shooting, you better make sure you shoot the right target. Oh, I don't know. That's what I'm saying, misbehaving. Like, they will be hung with me too. Go directly to jail. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Don't do nothing. Go straight to jail. Right. I don't know. We gonna see. So, guys, what I'm gonna do, because I don't want to keep everybody here so late on a Sunday. We got about 3 hours. I think it's about 3 hours, right? Hey, Shelby from NC, North Carolina. Wave it like a helicopter. Here I go with my bad lyrics, Jason. Take your shirt off. North Carolina. I don't know the rest of the words, so now I don't know. I'll be telling y'all some false stuff. Y'all be having some false lyrics. All I know is he said, take your shirt off. Wave it around like a helicopter. PD Pablo rolling over. I know, messing up all his lyrics. All right. But it just sounds so nice when she come in and I can say North Carolina. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to cover the first half of day 3. I am going to stream early tomorrow, and we'll stream the rest of day 3, which is about 2 hours. And then we'll go live into day 4. That way everybody don't have to be up late. And I don't want anybody to miss any of this coverage, because I definitely love when we can all be in a chat and we can all watch it together versus the people having to rewind and stuff like that. Okay, guys? But at least we won't have to do 7. He gonna get me for messing up his lyrics. Look, okay. Y'all understood my point, right? North Carolina, wave it in the air like a helicopter. Yeah, right. That's it. Whatever. He better be happy somebody singing that stuff, even if I can't figure it out. I tried.
All right, is shooting considered reconstructions?
No, so I'm not familiar.
Objection also assumes facts not in evidence.
It's overruled. You may answer the question.
No, so I'm not familiar with it.
I'm just going to show you a larger version of State's Exhibit number 85, okay?
Yes, sir.
So right here we have the Chase Bank, correct?
Yes, sir.
So 149 Winkler, would it be fair to say that that's over here, or sorry, that's over here as it pertains to the camera that we're viewing right now in State's Exhibit number 5?
Yes, sir.
So about a block or 2 away.
Definitely, yes, sir.
And that's the video that we're viewing now.
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. Bledsoe, are you able to make out the make and model of the car you just saw screeching across State's Exhibit number 5?
Yes, sir.
What was the make and model of that vehicle?
It was that black BMW that was originally at the ATM.
Okay. I'm now going to show you State's Exhibit number 1, Chase surveillance bank video. Oh, and I apologize. The question, how many shots were there?
I counted 10. I think I heard 10.
10 sounds consistent with gunfire shots. Would that be fair to
Objection
say?
leading.
We don't need the witness.
Would it be fair to say that that's how many you heard?
Yes.
Objection leading.
Mr. Maroon.
What do we see there?
A muzzle flash.
What do we see there?
A muzzle flash.
What do we see there?
A muzzle flash. You can see grass popping up a little as well.
What do we see there?
A muzzle flash.
How many is that so far?
We're at 4 right now.
Would it be fair to say that between the one that you saw taking the defendant shooting next to the vehicle and this one, were you able to see any in between?
From this camera angle, no, sir.
I'm not going to publish State's Exhibit number 3 with the court's permission. As a certified peace officer, Mr. Bledsoe, when a person extends their arm up, are you able to tell whether or not they're actually shooting a gun?
With defendant Earls, you can see the muzzle flash, so that's a good indicator, the muzzle flash.
So right now, as a point of reference, where do we see the robbery suspect?
He's just past or right at the chase sign, essentially.
Based on the chase video, what has the defendant already done as he's exited the vehicle?
The defendant, could you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
I apologize. When the defendant exits the vehicle and then the robbery suspect is at the chase sign, what does the defendant do next?
He's getting ready to start taking a shot at him.
As the defendant crosses into the grassy area, how many times has the defendant already shot? Based on the chase video.
Right now, we're at about 2, I'm assuming.
What do we see right there?
We see the truck is behind the fence and everything. I can't see the original robber suspect, and you can very faintly see defendant Earl standing back there by the car.
And I'm going to go back just a little bit here.
Yes, sir.
What do we see right there?
Mr. Earls is standing in that area now, where you just kind of had your mouse hovering, and then the truck is basically still just behind the fence line right here.
And so at this point, if we're looking back at State's Exhibit number 1, the chase video, and we're shifting to this video, would it be, you tell me, is it more clear in this video or the chase video as it pertains to the other muzzle flashes you see from the defendant's gun?
Objection, Your Honor, I don't understand what that means. Convoluted question.
You understand the question?
I think I know what he's trying to say.
I'll just rephrase, Judge. Mr. Bledsoe, as it pertains to the muzzle flash that occurs after the first 5 or 4 that we saw in the chase video, what video best depicts the muzzle flash? The 226 Winkler video or the chase video?
The chase video shows defendant Earls' shots, and if there was a shot by the robbery suspect, we'd be able to see it a lot better on this angle.
And I want to direct your attention to Mr. Earls over here in State's Exhibit number 3. And if you need to step down, let me know.
Okay.
Investigator Bledsoe.
Yes, sir.
What do we see right there?
I just saw a muzzle flash again.
Okay, what number is that so far?
That would be, I think we're at 4 right now for combining the 2 videos. 5, 6, 7, 8.
Would you agree with me that as it pertains to, and you tell me, are you more qualified to analyze surveillance video and digital evidence or a digital evidence for an investigator?
A digital forensic investigator.
I apologize. I know that was a little unclear. So as it pertains to the number of muzzle flashes in the video, would it be fair to say, when it comes to those things like that, although you're not a shooting and reconstruction expert, you're at least able to tell when a firearm is discharged?
I think any person can look at the video and see a flash from the end of a gun.
So at least based on what we saw here, we've counted, what is it, 8 in these 2 videos? How many?
About 7 or 8 right now. Yes, sir.
And how many did we hear in the audio?
We heard 10.
I just want to review two very short things. I'm going to go frame by frame here. This is that same still that they showed you. Remember that?
Yes, sir, it is.
Do you see any muzzle flash there?
No, sir, I do not see a muzzle flash.
We're going to go back over here now. I mean, I guess you could call that extending your arm, but I mean, do you see any muzzle flash there?
Objection to counsel testifying.
He's gonna testify.
Do you see any muzzle flash there?
With him extending his arm right now, no, sir, I do not see a muzzle flash.
I want to talk to you about what a black box is. You tell us, since you're the reconstruction expert, what is a black box?
So the black box in vehicles today, you guys, is your airbag control module. Basically, it's a life-saving procedure for you. So basically, you're involved in a crash. There's an algorithm enabled. So something inside of the car. It's like an accelerometer in your phone, basically. It's saying, oh crap, something's happening with this car. Let's deploy airbags and save lives. So those events are happening in between 0 to 300 milliseconds is when those airbags are deployed, essentially. It's built to save your life, basically.
And, you know, as a shooting reconstruction, as a vehicular crimes reconstruction expert, do you always get the black box in the vehicle after an incident's occurred?
No, sir. Sometimes they're damaged for how severe some of our crashes are. Sometimes an event is just not triggered. Sometimes you have older vehicles that have been involved in crashes and crappy companies don't replace that module, so it doesn't deploy the airbag to save your lives. There's several things that can cause it not to deploy.
That drone that you used to capture some of the state's exhibits that you testified to yesterday,
Yes,
do you
sir.
have that with you?
Yes, sir, I do.
Can you show us what it looks like?
Yes, sir. It's this with the controller, you guys. With this remote controller attached to it. It's the DJI Mavic 2.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you to fly on the.
Yes, sir.
I do want to show you a photo that you took.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now approach the witness, judge. Take your time putting it away. I know that's sensitive technology.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's I'm going to show you State's Exhibit number 79. Is that a still from the video that we watched yesterday?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, and it's a fair and accurate still from the video that was captured by your drone already introduced into evidence.
Yes, sir, it is.
Tenders of opposing counsel, State's Exhibit number 79.
No objection.
We're going to recommend State's Exhibit number 79 will be admitted to evidence to be published.
Mr. Bledsoe,
Yes, sir.
is that you right there?
Yes, sir, that is me.
Okay. So when you took this aerial photo, what were you attempting to capture?
Basically trying to just capture the layout of the entire scene from an overhead standpoint. Just kind of like a top-down view showing where the Chase Bank is, the entrances and exits to this ATM, the street itself, stuff like that.
Pass the witness, Your Honor.
Defense.
Briefly, Judge, you don't know the frame rate of the camera that was in Stacy's. Marin, which one's the 24 ones? Was it 2?
Number 3.
3. That black and white one we just saw. You don't know the frame rate of that camera, correct?
The camera or the
Camera.
video itself?
The camera that was taking the video. You don't know what the frame rate is.
You could click properties and actually get the frame rate.
Do you know the frame rate?
Offhand for that video, no, sir.
Thank you. Okay. See, it's not hard. You don't know the aperture of that camera, do you?
No, sir, I do not.
And we talked about muzzle flash. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yes, sir.
A muzzle flash can be dependent upon a lot of different things, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, guns aren't flamethrowers, right?
They are not.
All right. So a muzzle flash can be affected by things like type of firearm, true,
Yes, sir.
barrel length,
Yes, sir.
okay, and it can be affected by type of ammunition it's being used, right?
Yes, sir.
It can be affected by caliber, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you're aware, they talk to you a lot about firearms here. You're aware that there are, for example, Remington, Hornady. There's a lot of very popular ammunition brands that actively market for defense rounds that have low muzzle blasts, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not a firearms expert.
Okay, he asked you a bunch of questions about firearms, but you're not a firearms expert.
No, sir, I'm not a firearms
Okay.
expert.
And then, as far as the black box goes, they were talking to you about all the reasons as to why some data may not be there. But at the end of the day, there was never an attempt to get any black box data from any vehicle in this case, was there?
No, sir, I'm not aware of any.
And because of that, we'll never know what data they could have captured. Will we?
We do not know, no, sir.
Pass the witness.
Nothing further for this witness, Judge.
May I finish the excuse?
From the state, yes, sir.
Yes, subject to recall.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Who's your name?
I think we can set the Zoom, Judge. They want to take a break?
Sure, that's okay. We're gonna get on Zoom. I'll take a break when you come back. We won't waste time. Okay, y'all, we're gonna recess for about 10 minutes.
All right for the jury?
Wow. So what do we think about that? I think the defense did a good job. Trying to tell y'all. But we have our good old TiVo time, so I am going to pull us past this. I think you don't think the defense did nothing to that with that cross. Oh gosh, I think they did. That's not even me being biased. I don't think.
You all may be seated. State your name.
State Police Officer Colorado. And before I proceed, Judge, I want to give the firearm, which states exhibit 120 to Sam.
And just for the record, State's exhibit 120 is a firearm, and Deputy Sam of the Harris County Sheriff's Office is just clear in front of the presence of the jury. And we're gonna swear him in on Zoom.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Sir, please raise your right hand.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you.
May proceed, state.
And Judge, should I go up there?
Yes, sir, please. I think it's easier.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Why don't you tell the jury your name?
I'm Officer Nicholas Palmer.
Okay, now why they got this officer testifying from his car on Zoom? What's going on? What's going on out here? He couldn't come in? I'll be with you, Zach, if you had some sunflower seeds. I do love pistachio. Oh, not sardines. Ew. But I can definitely mess with you with the pistachios. Not really pumpkin seed, girl, but I do love me some sunflower seeds. You say maybe he on vacation? Maybe he is. Oh, you ate them last night? Okay. All right. You don't even save none. Okay. I know that feeling. So I guess my question to y'all would be, and Jason, because I don't know a lot about weapons. So it's to my understanding that revolvers don't leave casings or anything out there. And if that's the case, if that's a possibility, okay, so could the robber have had a revolver since we heard 10 shots? I bet you are waiting with bated breath. I bet you are. Oh, shoot, I almost knocked everything over. Excuse me. Because I'm having a problem with them putting emphasis on these 10 shots. Like, this guy just counted out all 10 shots. Ooh, Miss Behavior says she'd make a whole little meal out of that. Oh, they divorced. It didn't even last 24 hours. Wedding. Oh, they didn't even get married. She said the wedding is off, Zach. No, she don't want to have no sardine breath kissing her. It travels through the internet waves. Maybe 5 shots from the robber. So, okay, it looks like we probably getting into the ballistics of the things, I guess, because I did hear the prosecutor talk about the weapon, right? So I'm assuming they're gonna tell us how many rounds his weapon held, how many were left in the weapon, things like that, Jason. Well, I only say that because the defense, the prosecution team in the last video that we was watching, they had that the investigator count out the 10 shots. The 10 shot sounds, right? But they only found 5 casings, right? And then the defense got up there and they got the investigator to admit that depending on what type of weapon it is, you may not see the gun flashing. You may not see certain things depending on the type of ammunition. So although we may not have seen it and it may not have been caught on camera, it may be because of different reasons when we seen the robber pull up his arm and point. Because he definitely was not waving by. I'm saying with any kind of gun, you will see it flash because he just got that detective to testify saying that depending on what type of weapon it is, depending on what type of ammunition is in the gun, can make it variable if you can see the flashing muzzle. At least from what I got out of it. Welcome to 13 juror. It says, good afternoon. Take it to trial. I have a question. If Tony shot 10 times and the robber shot no times, then where are the other 5 cases? The state doesn't have an answer for this. Exactly. That's one of my questions too. And that's what we roundtabling now to try to see, because from our last video where they broke it down and we heard 10 shots, or he say he heard 10 shots, we only found 5 casings. I don't know. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that. But the last guy in his testimony, he definitely raised some reasonable doubt that somebody else could have been shooting. All right, guys, let's see what this detective in his car got to talk about, because I don't know why he in his car and why he couldn't figure this out to be in a hotel, even if he on vacation. He could have been sitting in the hotel. He could have been doing something better than sitting in the car, but it is what it is.
And we see you're in a automobile. Tell us where you are, and we're all going to be jealous.
I am in the great state of Hawaii.
So you're on vacation,
Correct.
and you realize the defense has been gracious enough not to make you testify in person, although we were willing to fly you back from your vacation, right?
Absolutely. I thank the judge and I thank the court.
Well, it's the defense you should be thankful.
Thank you to the defense as well.
Was that one of the best conversations we had a couple of nights ago? That we weren't going to fly you back? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So
Great news.
let me get this going so we don't lose you on Zoom and get back to your vacation, because I think you're going diving in about an hour, right?
Correct.
Okay. How long have you been with the police department?
For about 4.5 years.
And prior to that, what did you do?
I graduated from college, Texas A&M Kingsville.
And not only that, you played football for him, correct?
Yes.
And at the time, on February 14, 2022, how long had you been on the force?
I believe at that time it was almost 2 years.
Okay. And now, we did send you your offense report supplement, and did you receive it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, that evening, sir, were you asked to go to a particular location where a robbery victim as well as the suspect was at?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And was that Tony D. Earls?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you got there, was he there on scene?
Correct.
And was he cooperative?
Yes.
And did you or another officer ask him where the firearm was, and he voluntarily said where it was?
Yes.
And did you go and retrieve the firearm yourself?
I did.
Okay. And did you in your supplement state the serial number of that firearm?
Yes.
And can you read to the record or state to the record what that serial number was?
The serial number is going to be Tom Lincoln X-ray 70074.
And what was the condition of the firearm? Meaning, was the magazine in or out? What was the condition of it when you retrieved it?
When I retrieved the firearm, it was as what we call cleared, no magazine inside the firearm, and the chamber was locked back.
And was the defendant asked where the bullet was that was in the chamber before it was cleared?
Yes.
And what was the answer for that purpose?
I believe the answer to that purpose was every time that you fire a weapon, another round gets chambered in. So we're trying to have all the rounds accounted for.
Okay, maybe you didn't understand the question. My question is that the round that was in the chamber, did you say you put it back in the magazine?
Yes, he did say that.
And then did you count the number of bullets in the magazine?
Yes.
And do you remember how many there were?
I believe there were 7 bullets in that magazine.
That's correct. I know I don't think I can show you, but this, yeah, let me see. And you can trust me that the serial number that you read out was the same one that's on the gun. You normally would do it this way. Does that look like the gun?
Yes, it does.
If I was to say this is the magazine and the 7 bullets that you retrieved, does that seem right?
Yes, that's correct.
And again, they were separate and the bullets were inside the magazine when you got them, correct?
Yes.
All right, this time State Officer states 120, 121, and 122 to defense counsel.
CB's judge, no objection to those exhibits.
With no objection made, states 120, 121, and 122 will be admitted to evidence in the published.
Thank you. So here's what I'm pointing to. And officer, do you remember the capacity, I can show it to you, of the magazine that you recovered? I don't know if you can see that.
I believe it was 12 rounds.
Very good. You're correct. And with that, Judge, 'cause I don't think you can see the whole thing.
Mr. Matthews has to come up here if you have any, or whoever's taking the witness, I apologize.
I was gonna have him identify the defendant, but,
You can move this.
I don't know. I'm gonna have, y'all can. Can't hear you. I can see you here.
Yeah, that's fine.
They're gonna stipulate to identification that you got it from him, okay? So with that, I got some witness, and thank you so much, officer, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Matthews, you might have to stand up here to be on the.
Yes, sir. Officer, thank you for joining us via Zoom. I'm going to make this quick so you can get back to being in a much better place than any of us are. So that night when you went to see Mr. Earls, I think this was already established. I just want to make sure we're clear. He was completely cooperative, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
And he already had the firearm in a safe condition for you to retrieve, correct?
Correct.
And he voluntarily went with you to get transported to give a statement, correct?
Yes.
All right, enjoy your vacation, sir. We pass the witness.
State,
Nothing further, Judge.
may this witness be excused?
Yes, please.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Please call your next witness.
State calls, Lambert, Sarah Lambert. So,
I'd rather be here, but.
Can you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes. Thank you.
Please take a seat. If you do, hear speak loud and slow, roll up your chair, If Ms. Wilshire is ever looking at you, that means you're speaking too fast. So that you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Could you please state your name to the jury?
Sarah with an H, Lambert, Lambert.
And I can already tell you're soft-spoken, kind of like me, so let's make sure we use the microphone, okay?
Yes, sir.
Just roll up a little bit closer then.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, where you
I currently live in Katy. I used to work for Houston Forensic Science Center in Houston.
and what was your educational background?
I have a master's in forensic science.
And how long did you work for the Houston Forensic Science?
I was there 7 years.
And you're here to testify regarding the case number 2022-01966, is that right?
That is correct.
And tell us what your involvement in this case was.
I processed 2 vehicles that were involved in the case at the vehicle examination building. We call it the VEB.
And explain to us what that building looks like, or the lot, I should say.
It's a small building surrounded by a fenced lot. We're attached to HPD's, Houston Police Department's tow yard. So the whole thing is surrounded by one fence, and then you can walk between the 2 lots.
So what was your job with the Houston Forensic Science Institute?
I was a crime scene investigator.
So there's somebody that has already testified, Matos Perez, so it's kind of the same unit at the time?
Yes, we were in the same unit.
And so did you have kind of the same responsibilities? Sometimes you go to the scene, sometimes you process vehicles?
Yes, I think just a month before I had started just doing VEB cars. We were trying to streamline that.
And again, the philosophy is the Houston Forensic Sciences attempts to be independent of law enforcement. Fair to say?
That is fair.
May I approach the witness, Judge?
You may, sir.
I'm going to show you State's Exhibits 124, 125, 126, 7, 8, 29, and 30. First of all, I've shown you States 124 through 172. How do you recognize those?
Those are the photographs that I took while I was at the VEB.
And is that of a Ford F-250?
Yes, it is.
And do they fairly and accurately depict the way that that vehicle looked on that day?
Yes, they do.
I'll show you 173, 174, 175, and 176. What is that?
That was the second vehicle, the BMW, that I processed also on that day.
And does it fairly and accurately depict the BMW as it looked that day?
Yes, it does.
All right, this time, State Officer 124 through 176.
176.
124 to 176.
Judge, I'm gonna need a minute, I think it's like 50 pages. I just may have a wrong lawyer on. Judge, if I may, I have no objections to the introduction of these exhibits.
With no objection made, states 124 through 176 will be admitted into evidence and be published under the New York.
I'm not gonna go over all the photographs. We're seeing 124, obviously this is a picture of the front of the vehicle that you processed, is that accurate?
That is correct.
And 125, we can see the window tint, was it rather dark compared to most window tints?
Yes, it was.
We're going to 126. Can you explain to us what this is?
Yes, that is the exterior rear passenger door. That's going to be the window and the window trim just above the door handle.
And you're taking pictures of the front seat.
Correct.
So while you're at Houston Forensic Sciences and you're processing a vehicle, is it somewhat like a crime scene that when you're taking photos, you're taking every angle, every part of the vehicle just to document it?
That is correct.
Just don't isolate it. The main thing is in the back. You're just not going to take pictures of the back. You're going to take pictures of the entire vehicle.
Yes, that's correct.
However, there is some significance here. 131. That's obviously the front seat, right?
That is correct.
And does 132 show us anything in this case?
I believe this would be the driver's seat and the driver's floor.
And 133.
This is again the driver's area. The left side of the picture has the driver's floor. The top of the picture is the driver's seat. The right side of the picture is going to be the B pillar, and this is the floor where the door would shut.
And what is that picture?
That was a metal fragment.
Explain to us what a metal fragment is.
So Houston Forensic Science Center takes any part of a projectile or the bullet. If it's in a piece, it's considered a metal piece, a metal fragment. I believe that one was copper in color, and it looked like, excuse me, a copper jacket.
And we go closer up. This is 134. And now I'm going to show you 135. What is 135?
That's just a closer view of the metal fragment.
First witness, Jeff? Trading states 178. You recognize it?
Yes, sir.
And what is it?
That would be the metal fragment that I collected and the original envelope that I collected it in.
This time state offers 178 in its contents. Intended to opposing counsel.
No objection, Your Honor.
With no objection made, 178 and its contents will be admitted as evidence to make prohibition.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. No objection, Your Honor.
178 will be admitted as evidence.
Now, this was found on the driver's side
Correct.
between the seat and the door.
Correct.
Seven. 138. Now, this is which door?
This is the interior rear driver's door window.
So we're in the rear side behind the driver's seat.
Correct.
And this is the window. Now, we notice some specks or whatever that is. Can you explain what that possibly could be?
Those were defects to the tint in the window on the inside of the window. So something had hit and tore the tint, and then also those were just very small defects in the glass.
So it's defects or damage to the actual tint, not necessarily the glass. Is that fair?
Yes.
Now, I know you're not allowed to offer opinions and things of that nature, but what in the past have you seen when you're processing a vehicle that would cause something like this?
That's very consistent in vehicles when there's an impact on the opposite side. So it could be an impact from somebody smashing the window or shooting a window or a car accident. It's consistent with debris flying through and hitting the window.
And I'm showed 139. There's kind of that, but is that just a closer look at it?
Correct.
And then 140. So this is the defect you're talking about.
Correct.
Now, did you take any samples or anything like that, or scrapings or anything?
No, I did not.
141 and 142. All the same window.
Correct.
And 145, what are we seeing here?
This is the rear driver floor. So the top right is going to be the rear driver's seat, and the bottom left of the picture is the running board where the door shuts.
And we see stuff along the running board. Can you tell us what that is?
Those are various pieces of debris. Some are little pieces of glass. Some are unknown. And then on the left side, there was one more metal fragment, almost a boomerang shape.
And is this a better picture of it in 146?
That is.
It is.
Yes, it is.
As well as 147?
Correct.
That goes to check. Yes, sir. We show you 177. And what is that?
That would be the metal fragment as well as the original envelope it was in.
And I should ask you this before. How do you know that it's the same fragment that you collected?
Well, by appearance, it appears the same, as well as this is my envelope, my handwriting, and my seal. So I'm assuming that what I turned in was still in it.
Okay. This time, state offers 177 after tendering to opposing counsel for no objections.
I just need a second. Let's see. No objection, Your Honor.
Vote just made, 6177 will be admitted into evidence and may proceed. May publish.
Thank you. And it's very small. Is that accurate?
That is accurate.
In 149, who is this located? Do you remember?
This was on the rear driver's seat.
Now, in hindsight, would it have been a good idea to collect all of the blood items in the vehicle, or would you not necessarily do
I'm
that?
going to object to the form of the question, Judge. There's no reference to blood in evidence at this time.
Good point. So, you see something that's red here?
Thank you.
Would, in certain cases, would it be necessary to test that in the blood and things of that nature?
In some cases, yes, it would be necessary.
And in hindsight, sometimes you just take all the blood and then see if investigators need it to be relevant.
If I haven't had any contact with them, then yes, I would take it all and see if they need it.
Okay. But you did not collect this item.
I did not collect it.
Show you 151. And where is this located?
This is I believe it's the center between the rear passenger and rear driver seat.
Now, at first it looks like it's just a jacket, but there's an item here. And what is that we're looking at?
That's the door lock that I believe used to be on the rear passenger door.
They show 152. And what are we seeing in 152?
This should be the rear passenger seat and the rear passenger door closed.
So when you said it appears to be consistent with the top of the lock, is this the lock you're referring to?
That is the one.
So now let's look at some close-ups of the top of that lock, which is 153. So you're holding your hand in 154, is that right?
That is correct.
Now, when you're talking about that top lock, I'm going to show you 156. This is a closer up. And is that what you're referring to in 153? That appeared to be the top of the lock in 156.
Yes, sir.
And that would be the rear passenger seat door.
Yes, sir.
And this is 157. You see a bit of a buckle here. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And I believe in 158, you're taking a picture of another one of the locks that was still intact to show us. Is that accurate?
Yes, sir. This should be the rear driver that was intact.
$157 of the back passenger door. Is that right?
Correct.
160. And then 161 is a closer up. Now, Ms. Lambert, you're not a firearms reconstruction expert, are you?
No, I am not.
And in your role as a crime scene unit officer at that time, were you somebody who would work on trajectory and things of that nature?
No, I did not.
That your SOPs wouldn't allow you to, is that accurate?
That's correct.
So when you're collecting this evidence, is that for somebody else to potentially look at?
Yes, sir. My role is more documentation.
And if it's a different type of surface, sometimes you could use a trajectory rod, but you would offer no opinion. Is that fair?
That is correct. In order to use a rod, you have to have two surfaces with two holes. Less than that, we're not allowed to use one.
What's going on here? Why are you documenting this?
This is just a close-up of where I believe the projectile entered. It's showing you the window glass that's broken as well as the tint bending inward. There is a bit of a hump like a hill, and that often is consistent with something traveling through there. And I was just showing a close-up of what I believe shows what happened in the angles.
And to the best of what you can testify to, explain to us why you think this is what happened and why this picture is relevant.
Well, when a projectile goes through the window, the tint pushes out and often stays out. It's got that like a glass powder coating, and it stays in that position. It's right in front of where the door lock was that I found on the opposite side of the vehicle. So I would say the pressure and the contact broke that lock and sent it to the other side of the vehicle. Because I can't do anything with angles or trajectory, I was hoping that the photographs that I took would also show that.
So it's fair to say, in your limited capacity of documenting and retrieving evidence, you're basically seeing something yourself and you're basically documenting as best you can for someone else to potentially look at.
Correct.
Then 165, what are we looking at there?
This is the same area, but from the outside.
And 166?
The same area on the inside.
And you're doing something here in 167, what is that?
So that hump or that small hill that was by the door lock, I sliced that and lifted it and photographed to see if there was anything there that needed to be collected. And I was just showing that it was just fabric. My glove is there to sort of, it's hard to see black on black.
So is that from 166, and now you're looking at, is that how you're doing it?
Correct.
In the back passenger seat. You have a red substance, is that accurate?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't test it or anything of that nature?
I did not test it.
Now, in 171, did you notice anything at all on this one? You're just taking a picture. And we have here, there is nothing for here.
Oh, yeah, no, that it's just a documentation.
And how about 172?
That was just a little bit of a defect or maybe glass debris that is the top, sort of by where the door handles you would grab on the rear passenger area.
Now, as far as the processing of that truck, did you look for another defect caused by a firearm other than the one by the lock and the window?
I did, but I did the interior exterior vehicle.
did you even know that fuel had been lost from the vehicle in order to look for another defect?
I did not know that.
And now I'll show you 173. This is a different vehicle. Did you process this vehicle as well?
Yes, I did.
And was that swaps for DNA and things of that nature?
Yes.
And 174. 175. And 176. That was all the same vehicle. Is that accurate?
Yes, it was.
You said you used to work for Houston Forensic Sciences. Are you employed yet or in between jobs?
No, I'm just spending time with family right now. I'm not working.
And when did you leave Houston Forensic Sciences?
I believe the last couple days in May.
Thank you. That's what it should.
Thanks.
Do you want me to go now, Judge?
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'd like to go into the next one. For hearing.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So you left in May, you said?
Yes, sir.
Matter of fact, quite a few people kind of left in May, didn't they, from the CSU unit?
There was
Around that time?
more people than me, yes.
I'm not gonna go into the specifics of it, I'm putting in the curveballs. Let me talk to you first about your training. How long did you say you were with the CSU unit here in Houston?
7 years.
Okay. So then, do you remember the days when the CSU unit was part of the police department?
When I was there, there was no sworn CSU. It was all civilian at that time.
I'm sorry, civilian and,
There was no police officer CSUs when I started.
okay. And where were you trained? Like, did you just start out with Houston as a CSU, or were you trained previously somewhere else?
Yes, I previously worked for Stockton, California for their crime scene unit, and I was there for 5 years. We did the same types of activities.
And where were you educated relative to this type of work?
I got my master's at Nebraska Wesleyan.
And where I'm going with this, I'm just trying to figure out, I know we've heard a lot about CSU investigators currently with the Houston Police Department, the Houston Forensic Science Center. They're kind of limited in scope. They're more about collecting and documenting evidence. And did you ever work in a capacity where you had a little bit more freedom? In other words, where you could, for example, use trajectory rods and stuff like that while you were processing items of evidence if you thought they were necessary or might help the investigation?
Yes.
Makes sense?
Yes, sir. My first job in Stockton, we had a lot more leeway. Our SOPs were a lot less regulated, and we were allowed to do more processing and make more decisions ourselves.
And I guess under the current SOBs, so let's talk about the SOBs back in February of 2022. You agree with me that beyond the scope of observing, documenting, and possibly collecting, if you were to do anything more than that, then you'd have to get a request from, for example, someone with HPD. Like in this case, say maybe the lead detective, right?
Correct. They would need to ask for it.
The district attorney's office can do that also, can't they?
Yes, they can.
In other words, so the jury understands, I mean, you guys just don't work in a vacuum. You can have communication between the detectives that are working the scenes, detectives who might be interested as lead detectives in things in the vehicle, correct?
Yes,
And also, if the district attorney's office is prosecuting a case, then they have the ability to contact you actually by email directly. We often see requests to do certain things, right?
I don't know a lot of the DA regulations. They communicate with the supervisors.
Okay.
I didn't get a lot of direct communication from them.
They can communicate with your supervisors, or they can, as you know, they can communicate with the detectives and tell them, this is what we need for our prosecution, can you do this, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah, like, for example, and it may not have applied to this case, but just generally speaking, if they need an item to be fingerprinted, then certainly they can request that, right?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna go over a few things with you. I want to address some things that Mr. Jordan brought up first. And that you did recover a couple fragments from the vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I want to eliminate from the jury any confusion they may have, because sometimes some of us, like myself, have a lot of firearms experience. I want to talk to you about a bullet. I'm going to kind of simplify it. A long time ago, it was described to me by an expert as an M&M. You have the shell, right? Well, obviously you have the casing it's in, but the bullet itself has a shell and then it has a core, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And upon impact, depending upon what it hits, whether it might be glass, in this instance, the window, or it could be the trim, a bullet can break apart, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And when it breaks apart, pieces can go in different directions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the fact that you found multiple fragments in this case, or two in this instance, that doesn't mean that two full bullets were recovered from inside the vehicle, correct?
That does not mean that.
Matter of fact, they can be particles or pieces of one bullet that upon impact split up, right?
That is correct.
And we know it went through the door because let's face it, we see the bullet hole. You'd agree with me there, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's safe to say that in looking at the photographs, and I'll pull it up in a minute, but I'm going to try to stay in my seat for a little while because I've been told I tend to wander around the courtroom a lot. So everybody saw the bullet hole picture. For clarification, it's pretty clear to you with all your experience that the actual bullet entered the door, not the glass, correct? Does that make sense? In other words, it didn't hit the glass and cause the hole in the trim. It was more like the hole in the trim is what caused the glass probably to break, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And I want to cover a couple areas here, some things that I made some notes on. I guess, let me do this, John. Where's 70 some exhibits? Good, sorry. I didn't do what I meant, that's what I meant. Okay. I think 125 is a good example. And listen, this is kind of important because we heard a lot about this during the trial, but you documented the tint on the window, and when you received the vehicle, was the back windows are certainly up still, but were the front windows up or down, if you recall, because I saw in your notes you documented them being windows up. So is that the condition you got them in?
Yes, this would be the condition the vehicle was in. I believe the rear windows were up and the front were down.
Okay, because I saw in the notes, I thought it said, okay. It's really not that important, since you are an expert in the area. We've already heard testimony that the windows were rolled down after the event. So the condition of the front windows isn't really relevant, but take a look at that window. You'd agree with me that you cannot see in the vehicle, because of the degree of tint to that window, right?
That is correct.
Okay. And certainly, any of the marks that you referenced where materials might have hit the tint and damaged it to a certain degree in certain spots, that would have occurred after the shot or the bullet entered the vehicle and broke apart and caused particles of something to cause the damage, right?
That is correct.
So that any light that would pass through those defects would have been present at the time the bullet was shot into the car, right?
Yes, sir.
And if I'm just looking at it, to me, it appears that if someone were sitting in the back of that vehicle, the back seat, especially if they were kind of low, that you wouldn't really be able to see them from the outside. And this is a daytime picture. But even during the daytime, you can't see in the car, right?
That's correct.
Fair enough. Let's see. There's some pictures and evidence where there was some fluid leaking out at the scene before the car was towed. Did anybody bring that to your attention?
No, sir.
So no detective asked you to get under the vehicle and check it for damage, did they?
No, sir.
And I take it, well, I guess let me go back one step. You have the ability to put vehicles on a lift, right?
Yes, sir. We do have one lift.
Okay, I mean, you can move the vehicle, put it on a lift and look underneath, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you didn't document any bullet holes of any kind, did you, under the vehicle?
I did not check the undercarriage, sir.
So you don't really know if there was in fact fluid. Was it leaking? Do you remember if it was leaking when it was in your yard, your storage facility?
I don't recall any leaking.
Just want to make sure it's something that can be done. For example, if damage was caused by hitting a curb or any exterior damage, you have the ability, the means to make that inspection, right? It would just be a matter of someone who's in charge of this investigation requesting them to do it, right?
Yes, sir.
There were some items in the back of the truck, correct?
I believe there was.
Did you remove the items from the back of the truck and examine those?
I believe I looked through them, but didn't take everything out.
Okay, fair enough. And you didn't document any bullet holes of any kind on any of those items, did you?
No, sir.
If you did, you would have, if you saw something you believed to be a bullet hole, you would have obviously documented it with a photograph, right?
Yes, sir.
That's pretty common practice. You also took a lot of pictures. How many pictures did you take total?
Of the Ford F-250, I believe it was 196. Of the BMW, I believe it was 58.
Judge, I need just for a moment. May I approach the witness, Your Honor? Ma'am, I'm not, at this time, I'm not labeling these as defense exhibits. What I want to do is just see if you recognize them. Okay? Okay. And I think there's one.
Yes, I do recognize those.
The photographs you took, right?
They are.
Might I have one of these?
Yes, go.
Judge, I believe he has to mark those exhibits.
Well, hold on, John, I'm gonna invite you up for a moment. Would you join me at the bench? One of you guys, I know.
Y'all, this defense attorney is wild. He is so wild. Like, you know, when they had the camera up there at the bench and he was up there, I was sitting up here thinking to myself, like, why they got all these waters up here? And some look like they've been opened and been sipped out of. Like that don't look like nothing but the oochie coochie up there. Like germs everywhere. Sorry, y'all. My oochie coochie stands for germs. But anywho, not actual Uchi. Yeah, don't put your brain in the gutter. But I be saying people got the Uchi. Okay. I mean, it just looked like germs galore up there. And then he stops and asks her, can he have a water? I can't. I'm like, I'm glad I heard it crack open. So I know that he got a new water. She looking like and then he set the water down, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna get his mixed up with all the other waters, germs. Oh gosh. Okay. I'll take us past their sidebar. He like, no, I don't need to mark him yet because I'm about to call you up here, dude. Oh, funny. He said, you join me at the bench.
Where I was. Okay. So,
Night and forgot his place.
you took over 100 photographs, you examined the exterior of the car, and I see noted that you did not, there was no other visible damage to the exterior.
Wow.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
And what I'm specifically curious about is, had you seen what appeared to be a bullet hole in the back portion of the truck near the bed area, would you have photographed it and documented it?
Yes, sir.
And you didn't see anything like that, did you?
I did not.
Okay. Now, just a couple more questions, Your Honor. And I believe I'm going to look at 164. Well, actually, we can start from the exterior. State's Exhibit 126, specifically the hole right here, that's what you believe to be the bullet hole, correct?
Yes, sir.
And my associate wants me to ask at what angle you took this photograph.
Well, I can't say what angle. I was standing approximately by the driver's door when I took that.
Okay, so that's good. So what you're telling us then is that, and I'm just gonna do this, I'm not a real scientific kind of guy, I'm a kind of a matter of fact. So you were standing near the front passenger door, shooting the back passenger door, correct?
Yes, yeah, I think I said driver. I meant I was on the passenger side.
Yeah, not the driver, yeah, not the driver.
Yes, sir.
But we mean, I think we're talking about the same thing.
Yes,
You're
sir.
standing here shooting this way to capture that, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that where you took all the pictures?
No, sir.
Okay. That's just that particular one?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I guess let me do this then. Can't really see the hole clearly, but in this picture again, and if you'll bear with me, there's a method to my madness, but you're clearly shooting on an angle, right?
Yes, sir.
This one is State's Exhibit 59. It sort of captures the whole side of the truck, but you can see slightly that it does also pick up the bullet hole, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is that a direct 90-degree shot you're shooting?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but it's not a close-up, you agree with me, right?
Correct.
Okay. How about this one? Is that directly straight on 90 degrees? Or is it off at all? I'm just trying to figure out if there's any angle to it at all on your camera.
I don't think there's any angle to that.
Are you certain, or is it possible there could be?
It is possible. I was just standing in front of the vehicle.
And regarding the height of the camera at the time, well, it would be your eye level, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, for example, if I was I'm already a short little Italian, but if I was a real short little Italian and I'm holding the camera, then I would be at a different angle, right? If I'm shooting.
That is correct.
Here's a close-up. That's 164, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's straight on,
Yes, sir.
90 degree?
I believe so.
Okay. Well, for the purposes of this trial, it might become important, so I have to know 100%. Was that shot right at 90 degrees?
I could not say 100%.
Same with 165, again, it looks like it's off a little bit to the left, so I don't know where the center of your camera is or how you're positioned. Would you agree with me that you wouldn't be able to testify that 100% certainty you were shooting right at 90 degrees?
That one is not at 90 degrees. That one has the hump and the hole lined up. So that one, it was not a 90 degree.
Same with this one, 166.
It is not 90 degrees to the defect.
And also on 167, you're pulling back and let's talk about that for a moment. Well, let's put it in perspective. Hold on. Sean, can you hold on? Can you hold on? This is, I know this seems a little boring, but this could become very important later on in the trial, so I have to go over that.
Objection to the narrative.
Or,
Please don't testify. We continue, sir.
You can say agrees for it, but I think.
it's all right, John, I'll move on.
Next question, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Okay, so, let's start out with let's show 164. Now you're shooting the inside of the bullet hole, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you agree with me that, like you talked earlier about one of the reasons you didn't do a trajectory rod or wouldn't have done one is because to do a rod to show trajectory, you have to have two holes, one in and one out, right?
Correct.
And the way the trajectory rod, I always have problems with that word, trajectory rod works, is you stick it through the hole, right? And it sticks out from where it goes in and where it comes out, right?
Yes, sir.
It shows you the direction of a bullet, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's the purpose of it, okay? And I guess I gotta ask you, I think you already testified, you didn't do one, right?
No, this vehicle was not an appropriate candidate for a rod.
Tell me about that.
Well, it would have gone through the trim, and the trim is not solid enough to hold any sort of angle. So the rod would have destroyed any possible trajectory.
And so I think you even noted that, put that in your notes, right, that this was not appropriate, right?
I believe I did.
Based on your training and experience, that's why not only did you attempt to create or mimic the trajectory of this bullet yourself, but you didn't call out any reconstruction experts to assist you or attempt to do it, correct?
Correct. I don't do that.
Okay. Well, you didn't, I think you said at some point, like if you see something that you think might need further testing, you do have the ability to reach out to the detectives or anybody involved and request it, right?
We can reach out and let them know what we think.
Doesn't mean they'll listen, right?
Does not at all.
Okay. So what you did in 167, it appears to me that you pulled back, here's the hump that the bullet created, right? You can see the defect, right? It created this defect.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then in 167, it looks to me like you were exploring further to see if the bullet or any part of the bullet was still stuck inside the door under the molding. Right?
Correct. Also to see if the damage went deeper.
Okay.
And
To
it did.
basically see if you wanted to make sure you didn't leave any additional fragments uncovered, right?
That's correct.
Okay. And I think one of the other problems with trajectory that you had, that you noted and talked about, was the fact that the trajectory changed because it obviously knocked the lock off of the door, right?
That's correct.
And that's what we see in the other exhibits when the little piece of lock is right in it, right?
That's correct.
Judge, if you'll give me a moment, I think that was about done. Judge, I'll pass the witness.
Just one question. I forgot to ask you, is that truck that you examined a motor vehicle?
Can you?
Is that truck that you examined a motor vehicle?
Yes.
Nothing further, Judge.
I do have a couple of questions.
I won't be mad if you didn't.
John, can you focus? That's fine. I'm not doing Okay, so first, one other thing, and I'm not gonna go into all the details, but when you were processing the F-250, you did uncover ammunition in that vehicle, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, you documented it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, I guess the clothing, am I understanding correctly, no one asked you to recover the clothing from inside that vehicle?
That is correct.
Detective Farrell never called you or emailed you or anyone else, DA's office, HPD, anyone involved in this case, never requested that.
No one requested that.
Moving to the BMW. Yeah, approach your honor.
You may.
Well, yeah, first of all, let's talk about the processing of the BMW. So they asked you to, you mentioned briefly swabbing the BMW for, I guess, to provide samples for DNA testing?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and so the areas that of interest to you were would have been the driver's side door, right?
Correct.
Okay, who made that request?
Farrell. It was the same email request, and my assignment was all the same. It was on there. The request for each vehicle was in the same email.
Okay, so somebody sent an email and told you what they wanted you to look for.
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you know who sent that email?
I believe Farrell sent it to my supervisor, who printed it and gave it to me.
Do you have a copy of it today with you?
I don't, with me. No.
Because you don't have your file still, do you?
No, that stays, the company retains all that.
Okay.
Stays in the case file.
Okay, so I guess that answered my other question, that Detective Farrell had some input, right?
Yes, he did provide the email, but then I also did have a phone call with him during processing.
With processing. Okay. And let's talk about this briefly. So the reason that you swab, first of all, how do you swab?
We use sterile water and sterile Q-tips. We wet the swab and then wipe the area that we think there should be DNA. Then we put that in a box and it gets booked into property for the lab.
Okay, and you know from your training and experience, for example, I'm gonna come up there. If I'm speaking to you, this is just hypothetical, and I lean over and I touch this structure here, that there's a possibility that I could leave my DNA on this structure.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then, so that's the whole purpose, right?
Yes, sir. They were contact DNA that I collected and that would be from that touch.
Okay. And in this particular case, the reason that was of significance is because the video shows that the robber leaned into the car, correct? Or, well, you wouldn't know that, would you?
I was told that someone had leaned into the vehicle.
Okay, well, I don't think it's a secret because it's in evidence that we see the robber leaning into the car, so that would probably serve as a purpose or reason why they requested you do it, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't do the actual testing, right?
Correct.
You're not a DNA expert.
Correct.
So, sure. You mentioned that Farrell called you also, is that true?
Yes, sir.
And so you recall speaking to him about this case, right?
Yes, sir.
Can you remember the specifics of what that phone call was about?
Yes, I needed to know what to do with the ammunition that was found in the Ford F-250. It was not in my instructions, and I'm not permitted to make my own judgment call, so I had to call him and ask him what to do.
Okay. Beyond discussing what to do with the ammunition that was in the F-250, did you ask him any other questions?
I just always end with, is there anything else, anything new, anything changed?
Do you remember when the phone call was?
It was during processing, but I don't have a time.
Did Farrell talk to you at all about the possibility, I'm gonna use the layman's term, wanting to remove the black box from this F-4
Objections to hearsay. Repeat the question.
Well, I think she had brought it up, Judge. I was asking, did y'all, well, I'll rephrase it. Did y'all discuss during that conversation, either you with him and with you, whether or not, were you ever given an instruction to remove the black box from?
Objection still hearsay.
You can answer it. It's,
No, sir.
okay. They didn't send anybody out on during your watch to assist in the processing, did they?
No, sir.
They didn't send anybody out to remove the black box, did they?
No, sir, that would happen when we were complete. They don't happen at the same time.
Okay, I think here's, let me just double check before I pass you. I want to make sure, so there were photographs. Of the BMW in evidence, right? Yeah, here it is, okay. When you talk about, that would be Tony's wife's car. Do you know that for a fact, or did anybody tell you who that car belonged to?
No.
BMW though. So I'm gonna show you one more exhibit. Ask you if you identify its defense exhibit, recognize it, defense exhibit number 11.
Like it would be the rear passenger side?
Well, I mean, you took this picture, right? One of your processing photographs.
I believe so.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna go on and on about it, it's just an exhibit that was, or a photograph that was left out, show it to opposing counsel. Area question? Thank you. I was ready to pass them. Okay. Judge, I'm gonna pass the witness.
Your pressure. Move to the chair. State, do you have any questions for this witness?
No, no.
May this witness be excused?
Yes.
Defense, this witness can be excused?
Mr. Olson.
I'm sorry, Your Honor?
This witness can be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ma'am, you're excused. Nobody else, let's do like a 45-minute break. We'll stand at recess for 45 minutes. Let's take care of business though.
All right, for the jury.
Renee, you have something? Deputy, can you help me for a second, please? Mr. Guerrero, Mr. Guerrero, you have something?
Man, my guy looks so a shell of himself. Like, oh boy. So that's the first half of day 3. Y'all see that they're going to lunch. We will do the second portion of day 3 tomorrow morning. That way, my Marilda, she can get her some sleep and not miss not 1 minute of it. And it'll take us right into day 4 live. Yeah, like, I mean, he just really look, and I know her family is looking the same way. Not the same way, probably worse, right? Everybody, this is terrible all the way around. So I totally like get it. But you know, some people sit over there like they ain't did nothing wrong. And that's what burns me up. Like when people sit over there and they know they wrong, like they know what they did. You working from home? Good. Don't be nodding off. I'm gonna let you get some sleep. And then that way you don't miss it. We'll start in the morning. Since we only got about 2 hours to go. And then we can go right into live trial. I'm assuming that we're gonna still be in the prosecution's case tomorrow in the morning. I don't know if day 4, if the prosecution rests yesterday, or if we'll see it live when they rest. Yeah, Carvel, right. He is like, yeah, I don't think that he should go to, I don't know. See, that's the thing. And he needs some type of punishment, but I don't know if jail does it. I think I remember hearing about that, Jason, but I don't think I heard did they go to trial? I don't know if I heard about it. I think I might have heard it in passing. Yeah. No, Jason. Yeah, I totally get it. Karina, our last trial, we seen how she acted throughout the whole thing, but you can kind of tell when somebody is like really crying for themselves, crying for other people. Yeah, yeah, see that one, I don't know. She got life in prison without parole. Well, yeah. I mean, because that seemed like that was very purposeful. I don't think that he had any intentions on this playing out this way. I believe that he thought that was the robber in the car. The robber ran in that direction, and he really thought that was the robber. You said crying don't do it for you. Oh gosh. I wonder what are you still planning on going to court tomorrow, Mr. Franklin? And it depends on his past history. Now, I need to see, what has he done in his past? Maybe we can look up his record. I was trying to, Houston, I don't know how there is. Okay, so check it, Jason. Even if you can't stay in the courtroom, we need to get the layout, right? Because I was thinking, like, if you could get down there when they having, like, in the defense case, and like see and we can see him testify or something, like that would be great. Like, oh my. And we need to know who the jurors are, because if it's a whole bunch of women on the jury, we need to figure this out. He said, what? I'm saying, like, so what would be really dope, like I think that you want, I mean, because we don't know the layout of the courtroom, right? And you don't know what it may involve when you go. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just thinking of good times where it'll be, what time does the trial start tomorrow? We are going to start our live feed at I got it scheduled, I believe, for 6 Mountain Standard Time. And we'll go right into, we'll finish part 3, and that, after they come back from lunch from today, and then we'll go live with part 4, and then Jason going live in the courtroom for us. He's gonna try to get in the courtroom for us. So we gonna have eyes and ears on the ground, so we can see what this jury like. Because I wonder, like, if they got all women, or not like majority women, how would that be? Oh, cool, Barbara. Yeah, we'll be here. Yeah, I think that I tried to schedule it where we can just go right into it. We may review some stuff. In between some time. I'm pretty sure it's something that we can listen to again to kind of keep us together. But awesome. I don't know. I can be overly emotional, but I think I think that we can be, depending on what day you get us. What time you get us? Yeah, we can be very over emotional. Let you be. We can be. We can be very sarcastic. We cannot put. Yeah, I will totally admit it. I won't admit it in an argument with you or with a man, but I can admit it to you. Oh, and quiet as cat, we got men out here that are acting just like us, over emotional women. He gonna go find the suspect for us. Okay. The suspect down there, he's sitting in the gallery at the court. He gonna be sitting right next to Jason. All right, SD girl, enjoy. You say I'm sarcastic every day of the month. Right. Yeah, him and Jason gonna be sitting right next to each other. He gonna tell Jason all the facts of the case. He gonna tell Jason all the facts of the case, like you. Right. Well, yes, we are gonna pick fights with you over. Yes, it's a flashback. We gonna get mad at you and emotional with you about some stuff that could happen. It seemed like it was real. You are right, Bill. Absolutely. And then with all of that, we want you to understand. That's the most important part. We want you to understand why we feel like that, and how you handle right, therapist, and how you handle it is very important. On how this night gonna go. Like, I'm right. How dare you do that to me in my dream? It felt so real. I know you did it. Oh, now that is definitely a truth. You just get up in the morning mad. Oh, wow. Just wake up in the morning mad. What would you mad about? Because I had a dream that you was doing such and such and such and such and such and such. And if you don't ease it, appease me during that period of time that I'm telling you about this wild dream, talk about, well, baby, I would never do that. I'm gonna be like, okay, my dream must have been real. Okay, now we got an argument. Now we got to question him. That's right, Vanessa. How did you react to this? Oh, we. And that's definitely so. Yes, women can be very emotional, and I can only imagine if there are women on here, depending on where they're at in life, they can be emotional about this situation, and that's for both ways. They can be very emotional because it's a mom, it's a child that's lost, right? They can feel the emotion from even being the wife part that, hey, my husband was trying to protect me. So yeah, I just think that is, it just depends. I mean, it really depends, you know. Once. Yeah, I definitely think it depends on where you're at with things, and but I will say women are very, 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 can be very, very emotional. You say you gonna tell them how many supporters? I just see your comment. You probably not right, therapist. Probably not a good idea to tell her to calm down, relax, etc. It sounds like you trying to brush me off. Can't see all women, or the majority women, that is supposed to mean. I say I would. Well, none of my statements will be absolute, right? Because I don't know every woman, the 13th juror. So I don't know every woman, just like I don't know every man. So nothing that I say is ever in the absolute, because I don't know everybody. I mean, that's just realistically, right? So, and I would hope that nobody would think that I know everybody. So I can't speak for every woman. I can't speak for every man. I can't speak for anything in absolutes. I don't even know if it's majority. But what I will say is that, yes, we can be emotional. You say you found that out the hard way, film free. You can't say that. Would you say calm down? Let me show you what it looked like when I calm down, right? Don't tell me to relax. That sounds like they're really trying to brush you off. Would you relax? No, I will not relax. What the, you mean relax? No, I'm hot because of a reason. You'll tell me to relax? No, no, let me get all of this off. She said she'll talk to you in a couple days. Well, that's cute. At least she give you that breather. You say that's joking. At least she give you some type of idea. I'll talk to you in a couple days. What you say? Whatever you do, Carvel, do not tell her to relax. That's what you should not do. You talk about a war. Yes, that definitely is like a trigger. It's just like if men got they trigger things that kind of like, you tell him he broke, he probably, oh my, that probably put him into, and he know he broke. But if you tell him he broke, oh goodness. It's so, I think that everybody got like trigger things. Don't tell women to relax. Don't tell men they broke. So they all the way around. Would you say be a man, grow a pair? Don't tell a man that. Don't call him a punk. Don't. I mean, telling me broke. I can imagine. Like you ain't tell him that. Oh, definitely got his hot. You say you tell your husband you the breadwinner. Yeah, see. We can be a whole bunch of things, but you better not tell him that. Not in a heated argument. Like, like you ain't, yeah, or you acting like oh gosh. Carell said, sugar mama up in here. Yeah, Barbara said she got him in Walmart walking on all fours, Carvel. You better be careful. Because she had you at Walmart in a diaper, walking on being on your all fours, barking like a dog. That's what she do out here in these streets. Barbara ain't playing out here. She said she'd be your sugar mama, but you would definitely be in a diaper walking in Walmart on all fours. She run this stuff. You forgot about that story while you talk about sugar mama. I know it was your egg. Yeah, not the husband, not the current husband, but it was the eggs. But we know how you get down out here. She said she dominant now. She wear them pants up in that house. You better sit down. I'm the breadwinner. Ooh-wee. But I mean, you just got to figure out what works. Different people trigger points and different things that what works for them. What may work for two people, what may not work for other people. But you figure out your yin and yang. Your therapist said, Barbara, there's a man for that, and I'm glad you found him, right? You think Jason went to sleep? Jason, he's still in the chat. He ain't sent off his peace, love, and soul yet. His peace, love, and soul to the soul train line. He probably don't want to get involved with all this bickering between what people say in regards to men and women relationships. But yes, we can be emotional creatures, and I think that men can be emotional creatures as well in some aspects, because now men that but that is what it is. So tomorrow we shall have a very exciting day. We will go into day 3, part 2. Hopefully we can get some eyes and ears in the courtroom via Jason. I think they do. I think they have cycles too. I think they have PMS. I really do. No, well, dog, because if he gross up, baby, then you can't be You ain't telling them to gross up. No. That's why you get to be dominant. That's why you found that, because if you have two alphas, you alpha and he alpha, y'all gonna be boom, boom, booming. So you gotta kind of like have an alpha, and then I don't even know what you call the other one, but it can't be two alphas. Because two alphas, somebody gotta shut up and sit back. But if both of y'all got to get a point and both of y'all got to do stuff, you can't do that. Yeah, I think men have cycles. I think they have PMS just like us, and they just haven't. They ain't nothing but a woman. Everything about them is from a woman. Let's not get it twisted. They are all woman until something else just falls down and starts to hang and the other parts just poke out. Boom. Is a beta? Yeah, well, you got to have an alpha and a beta. Because if you got two alphas, it ain't gonna work, and two betas probably just sit up there and cry together. I don't know. Nobody can do anything dominant. But yeah, I am sure they got it. And they just haven't figured out what to call it. Because quiet as kept, partly why Tony is probably in the position that he in is because he got emotional. Right? His manhood, his ego. Yes, Marilda, you got that right. Because if they get the flu, they definitely, it's like they act like they can't get sick. Like when they get sick, they act like it's just done and over with. But us, we still get up and cook, clean, make our own soup. They catch the flu and they just up under the covers. You gotta get everything for them. Like, yeah, right. Like the world stopped. I tell, yeah. And half of the things that women can endure, men cannot. In my opinion. Please note that this is just my opinion. Yeah, he got emotional. Right. He got emotional. His ego was struck. He wanted to protect his woman. And so he got out of that car as soon as he could possibly have the chance to go after the robber and get back whatever he had stolen from them. You know, because he's trying to get his wife's stuff back. He got out and he got the shooting. They got the ambulance and stuff going on around here. Barbara said they are big babies. They can be. They definitely can be. All right, guys. Well, y'all know y'all was in the right place today. Where there is no filters, right? No fluff, just facts. So you can be the judge. All right, guys, we checking in 6 in the morning, and we got a great day going up. We got Karen Reed's Silva, I don't know, that trial that she got about some money. We got a hearing tomorrow, and then we're going to be in this trial all day tomorrow, okay? All right, guys, have a wonderful rest of your Sunday. Enjoy. Thanks for coming to hang with me. Thanks to the mods. Thanks to the chat. Thanks for everything that y'all done today. Peace.